there's been one evolution in Jessica Andrade's game that we haven't seen in a while that I think is the approach a lot of these fighters must take if they want to regain their footing after taking a losing streak. And that is patience, precision, and sticking to a game plan, like absolutely disciplined sticking to a game plan. And I think that was what Jessica Andrade showcased when she says, I want nothing to do with the ground with Mackenzie Dern. So AJ, do you remember that's kind of what we were talking about? Oh yeah, Andrade, she'll kind of engage on the ground. Remember, she's specialist, da 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 da. And I said, hey, no, not the right idea. I'm glad she took that advice because you play on the ground with Dern, that's fire, right? You stay on the feet, you're knocking heads off. So before we talk about Mackenzie Dern and whatever that performance was, how good did Jessica Andrade look? I thought she looked phenomenal.
Phenomenal, Derek. Phenomenal. I'm glad you said patience because that's right when you said the one evolution that Jessica Andrade has made. The first word that came to my mind was patient. We saw her in there not only when she'd hurt Mackenzie Dern and then have her stand up because, yeah, that takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of poise to really think things through like that, but also in the striking, man, not just a full-on blitz, calculated, walking you down, putting the pressure on where it needs to be, cutting the angles off so you can't escape, really nullifying your movement so that way Jessica Andrade can make the best of what she does. And it's that power, man. It's throwing heat wherever you're not expecting it, tagging the chin, hurting you. And then when you're on the ground, she played it smart and said, yeah, Mackenzie Dern, come on, stand up. I see you're basically out on the ground right now. Let me finish it. Let's go. See what happens. This was a beautiful performance by Jessica Andrade. And I do think this going forward really gives her that confidence that she can continue to fight this way consistently.
Yeah, I think the biggest key right here, she says, okay, you need to take me to the ground. That's your path to victory. Come take me down then. Instead of let me run into you, throw a wild punch, get my back taken, then get tripped and taken down. Because in the beginning of the fight, they had that scramble, right? And Mackenzie Dern kind of rushed it. She was too high on the top. And then instead of just trying to recover, get to a side control position, I think that she was thinking finish, tried to go for something fancy. Andrade was able to get out right back up to the feet. I was like, okay. Now we're talking, right? And this knockout was not even a byproduct of a Jessica Andrade, let me hunt you down and knock you out. It was a byproduct of Mackenzie Dern running face first into punches. So let's talk about the change of camp. Ruka Gym closes. Jason Perillo no longer in the corner of a Mackenzie Dern. She has another crew in her corner. She has her dad in her corner, right? But the most important thing that a lot of people pointed out, even the broadcast team, was that it almost felt like a step back in evolution for Mackenzie Dern. Like we saw a very crisp product against Angela Hill, who is a completely different fighter than Jessica Andrade, not even the same atmosphere, same realm, but we saw a major step back in proficiency of striking. We saw the old Mackenzie Dern where it just felt like a straight up jiu-jitsu player just bum rushing into shots. And though she had success, and she even may have rocked Andrade, she kept her chin just like that. Just ate it and done, you know what I mean? So knocked down 4 times in the span of a fight in a women's MMA fight. AJ, that's record breaking. That's you don't see that. That's what Jessica Andrade does. Was this Mackenzie Dern not showing up, or was it what we just said? Andrade was sharp.
Well, I don't want to take anything away from Andrade because was she cool, calculated, and sharp whenever she's seeing those holes present herself? Absolutely. So I want to take nothing away from Andrade on that, but also to the point, man, of the coach switch, of the camp change, of those kind of things. I mean, that's rule one, man. Hands up, head down. You know, you don't just lose that because you go to a champ or you go to a different coach. Sure, there might be some things that the other coach worked on that changed some things up, but I do truly believe this wasn't just a lack of character and of a practice or anything, like where you think like, okay, this time, you know what, instead of everything else we've ever done in our entire life, every coach has been telling me hands up, head, chin down. This time, you know what, I'm gonna put my hands up, chin up. I'm gonna leave it in the air. I don't think there was anything like that, or I don't think it was a coaching change. I do think it was more of, I know the power that this person opposite of me presents, and I'm very deficient in this striking realm. I'm going to throw some things, but I know I need to be conscious of what's coming back at me. And unfortunately, when you're thinking that route, you're looking for those punches. You're trying to see them come. And what does that mean? Instead of looking through your eyebrows, you're over here trying to find the punch. And sure enough, that punch found you, puts you on the chin. I think it was a lot more of that. How much do you read into that, Derek, or do you think it was a coach change?
No, that's fair. It felt anxiety. It just felt like there was a lot of anxiety about what's coming back to me is really scary. So if I'm gonna go in, I'm just gonna go in. And the problem is she could have kept the same game plan, bro. She could have kept the same game plan, and instead of just stringing 5 punches together, you hit the 1-2, you duck your chin, you step back out, you re-engage, and then I mean, she had Andrade hurt. At least it looked like it, man. So it's like everything that I wanted her to do in the fight, she did it. She literally did it. It was just the defense that didn't hold up. So you're getting dropped every round. You're going to lose a decision that way anyways. But looking back on it, man, Jessica Andrade was the steal of the card. So I think she closed at plus 205. That was the steal of the card, plus 400 for the TKO. You dropped $100 on that. You had a pretty night. You know what I mean? So another one of those spots where, as I had mentioned, the UFC doesn't matter the outcome of Jessica Andrade's career. She gets opportunity after opportunity, and she just beat a top 10 fighter in the strawweight division. Number 5, defended. She's right there in the mix, bro. Bate Estaca for the win. Shout out to Jessica Andrade.